You will hear 4 sections. Listen carefully and answer the questions. You will hear each recording once only. Please read the questions for each section before the recording begins. Now turn to Section 1. Start of Section 1. You will hear a conversation between 2 speakers about booking a hotel room. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 7. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 7.
Good afternoon. Ocean Breeze Hotel. How can I help you?
Hello, I'd like to book a room for 3 nights, please.
Certainly, sir. For what dates?
From the 18th to the 20th of July.
Let me check availability. We have a standard double room for £95 per night, or a deluxe sea view room at £135.
I'll take the standard double, please. Does that include breakfast?
Yes, a continental breakfast is included. Could I take your name, please?
Yes, it's Michael Underwood. That's you, Nderwood.
Thank you, Mr. Underwood. And a contact number?
It's 07 700 900 442.
Great. And will you require airport transfer?
Yes, please. My flight arrives at 10:30 in the morning on the 18th.
We can arrange that. The shuttle cost is £15 per person one way.
That's fine. How do you recommend I pay the deposit?
You can pay a £50 deposit by bank transfer to secure the booking. The reference should be your surname and the arrival date.
Understood. Is the hotel restaurant open in the evenings?
Yes, until 10 p.m. We also have a famous live music event every Friday night in the lounge.
Oh, perfect. We'll be there on a Friday. One last thing, is there parking?
Yes, we have underground parking. It costs £12 per day, but there's also free parking on Maple Street, just behind the hotel.
Excellent. Thank you for your help.
That is the end of Section 1. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Start of Section 2. This section will contain 9 questions. Listen carefully and answer question number 8 to 16. You have half a minute to first read the questions. Now answer question number 8 to 16.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Wellington's Tourist Information Center. My name is Sarah, and I'll be giving you a brief orientation to our city map to help you plan your day. This free map you've picked up is divided into 4 main zones. Let's start from the center. Look at the large blue rectangle in the middle of the map, labeled Central Plaza. This is our main public square. To its immediate north, you'll find the Art Gallery. It has a beautiful sculpture garden on its western side. Directly south of the Central Plaza, across Riverside Road, is a large park area called Greenfields. It's perfect for a picnic. Now moving to the eastern sector. In the top right corner, marked in green, is the Botanical Gardens. It's a lovely, quiet space. To its left, between the gardens and the plaza, is the main shopping district, filled with high street brands. For more unique finds, the local craft market is situated to the south of the shopping district, right next to the riverbank. On the western side of the map, things are a bit different. North of the plaza, next to the art gallery, is our city's museum. It's currently hosting a special exhibition on maritime history. In the southwest corner, you'll see the Leisure Complex, which houses a cinema, a bowling alley, and several restaurants. Finally, the area directly west of the plaza is our historic district, known for its charming, narrow streets and old buildings. The old courthouse, which is now a popular cafe, is a key landmark there. Most attractions are within walking distance. I'd recommend starting at the plaza and exploring from there. Enjoy your visit.
Section 3. You will hear a conversation between a professor and two students. The conversation is about an academic project. This section contains 11 questions, questions 17 to 27. You will have 30 seconds to read the questions before you listen. Listen carefully and answer questions 17 to 27. You will hear the recording once only. Now answer the questions from 17 to 27.
All right, Mia and Leo, let's discuss your progress on the group presentation for the marketing module. The topic is consumer behavior, correct?
Yes, Dr. Green, we're focusing on how online reviews influence purchasing decisions.
We've done most of the research. Mia found a particularly good longitudinal study from a Canadian university that tracked buying habits over 5 years.
Excellent. A longitudinal approach will add real weight. Have you decided on your structure?
We think starting with the general theory is best. Then we can present our primary data.
I conducted a small survey of 50 students on campus about their last online purchase. The initial results are interesting. Over 70% said negative reviews were more impactful than positive ones.
That's a strong finding. How will you present this data visually?
We plan to use a bar chart to compare the influence of positive versus negative reviews. Then, for the demographic breakdown, a pie chart.
Good. And what about the challenges section? Every good analysis addresses limitations.
Well, the main issue is our sample size. It's quite small and not very diverse, just university students. We'll mention that as a key limitation.
Quite right. Now, for your individual roles during the presentation itself. Have you thought about that?
I was thinking I could handle the introduction and the theory overview. Leo is better with numbers, so he could explain the methodology and results from the survey.
That sounds logical. And who will lead the question and answer session at the end?
We thought we'd share that. If a question is about the data, I'll take it. If it's more about the theory, Mia will.
A collaborative approach, I like it. Finally, what's your next step?
We need to practice the timing. We have 20 minutes total, and we don't want to run over.
Wise. Practice aloud and time each section. Good luck.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
Start of Section 4. Section 4. You will hear a lecture on climate change. First, you have some time to look at questions 28 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 28 to 40.
Good afternoon. Today's lecture continues our series on contemporary environmental challenges, focusing on the complex interplay between climate change and global agriculture. We'll examine both the threats and potential adaptive strategies. The primary impact of a warming climate is, unsurprisingly, on crop yields. While moderate warming may initially benefit agriculture in some cooler regions, the overall global trend is toward reduced productivity for staple grains like wheat and maize. This is compounded by an increase in the frequency of extreme weather, such as prolonged droughts and intense flooding, which can devastate harvests. However, the relationship is not one way. Agriculture itself is a significant contributor to greenhouse gas emissions, accounting for roughly 1/4 of the global total. The main sources are methane from livestock digestion and rice cultivation, and nitrous oxide from the heavy use of synthetic fertilizers. This creates a damaging feedback loop. So, what can be done? The solution space is divided into two major areas: mitigation, reducing agriculture's environmental footprint, and adaptation, helping crops cope with new conditions. A key mitigation strategy is improving soil management. Techniques such as no-till farming and cover cropping increase the soil's capacity to sequester carbon. In this way, farmland can effectively become a carbon sink. On the adaptation front, genetic research plays a critical role. Scientists are developing crop varieties with greater drought tolerance, as well as resilience to new pests that are expanding their ranges in a warming world. Another promising adaptive approach is modifying planting schedules, a practice known as adjusted cropping. Water scarcity is perhaps the most pressing secondary effect of climate change on agriculture. Here, technology offers meaningful solutions. For example, the widespread adoption of drip irrigation systems, which deliver water directly to plant roots, can dramatically improve efficiency compared to traditional flood irrigation. Looking ahead, the idea of climate-smart agriculture brings all these approaches together. Success will depend not only on scientific progress, but also on economic incentives for farmers to adopt new practices, and on strong policy frameworks. The nation of Israel provides a compelling case study, having pioneered water-efficient technologies in an arid environment. In conclusion, while climate change poses a serious threat to global food security, the agricultural sector also holds part of the key to mitigation. The path forward will require innovation, investment, and international cooperation. Next week, we'll explore the specific impacts of climate change on marine ecosystems.
That is the end of Section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.